Hello, thanks for checking out Mr. Ware's videos. And today we're going to take a look at part 2 to a series of videos following Unit 5 Assessment Study Guide. Okay, so last we left off was number 4, which is right here. We're going to pick it up with number 5. Alright, so here's number 5. It says, graph below is a system of inequalities. It says, shade the region that represents our solution set. Okay, and all you gotta do is shade the region that represents the solution set. Okay, um, so here I'm gonna start with this equation or this inequality. I've got y is greater than 2x minus 2. Okay, that's this one here. Okay, notice that it's greater than, and that you want to say, think about where you need to shade when it's greater than. Okay, and notice that it doesn't have an equal to, so that's why they put a dashed line here. Okay, so if we're going to shade that one, we're going to shade it up because it's greater than. So we shade up. Alright, now we're going to look at this next one. I use blue here. It's going to make sense why I use blue in a minute. But I've got y is less than or equal to negative 3x minus 7. So notice how it's equal to, and that's the solid line. Okay, you can also tell, if you couldn't tell by the solid or dash, you could tell at the y-intercept. Notice how the yellow one starts at negative 2, and the blue one starts at negative 7. Alright, so since it's less than, we already got the solid, we're going to shade below that. We're going to shade down. Alright, and now it's shading down. Okay, so you got the yellow region, you got the blue region. The yellow and blue makes green. Where they overlap at, that is the shaded region. So that's what you really want to put as your answer. The green region here, where they overlap. All right, let's look at number 6. Oh, one more indication. This is the region that you need. All right, now this one's already been shaded. We just need to pick out the points that are part of the solution. So here is, you see how you got these straight lines here, and then over here you got straight lines, but over here you see where they cross it and the color overlaps. This is the region that we want. Now, somehow, some way, this got cut off. On the end here is the Y on that's been cut off, but it is a equal to, right? So you notice how you got both of these solid lines. If one of these points happen to lie on the line, it will be included because the line is solid. But if it's dashed, then you would not include it if it lies on the line. So here, graph below is the system of inequality. Select all 4 points that satisfy both equations. So we can stop when we get to 4. All right. So let's start with A. Okay, and this is the region we need. This region right here. So if we start with A, negative 1, 5. All we gotta do is plot the point and see where it's at. Okay, negative 1, go over negative 1 from 0, 0, and go up 5. That's not in this region right here, so that doesn't work. Alright, what do you think about B? Is B going to be in this region? Alright, 0, negative 3. 0, negative 3. So right here it is. So we got one of them. Let's see if we can find another. What do you think about C? Would C be in the region? 7, negative 8. Okay, we would go over 7 and then down 8, and that's in the region, so we count that one as well. That's 2 of them, 2 more to go. Now look at D, negative 4 and negative 5. Alright, so we would go left 4 and down 5, left 4, and down 5. That's in the region as well, so we're going to count that one as well. All right, let's take a look at E. To the right 3 and down, up 7. To the right 3 and up 7. See, and that takes off of all the graphs, so that one won't work at all. All right, let's look at 3, 3. To the right 3 and up 3. All right, so I would go to the right 3 and up 3, and that'll put me right on the line. But because it's a solid line, we're going to count that one. Okay, so F works. So that's all 4 of them, and that's our answer. All right, let's take a look at number 7. Okay, number 7, the drama club is selling tickets to their play to raise money for the show's expenses. Each student ticket sells for $5. Each adult ticket sells for $9.50. The drama club must make a minimum of $570 from ticket sales to cover the show's costs. Write an inequality that could represent the possible values for the number of the student tickets sold and the number of adult tickets sold. So student tickets is S for the variable, adult tickets sold is A. That would satisfy the constraint. So I made a little box here to put in everything we need. We got to figure out what are we multiplying the student tickets by, and that's going to be here for S. What are we multiplying the adult tickets by? What type of inequality symbol we're going to use, and what will it be compared to? What's the n number here? Okay, let's start with students. What would you multiply each student ticket by? Okay, if you said $5, that's correct. So each student ticket sells for $5. All right, let's look at A. How much for each adult ticket? If you said $9.50, that would be correct. Each adult ticket sells for $9.50. Now, think about what the inequality would be. Would it be less than or equal to, greater than or equal to? If you said greater than or equal to, you'd be correct. It says make a minimum, which means it has to be, if the minimum was X amount of dollars, it has to be greater than that or equal to that. All right, but greater than or equal to what? What's the last number that goes here? All right, 570. It has to be a minimum of $570 from the ticket sales to cover the show costs. Okay, and that's it. So I'm gonna rewrite it without the boxes. 5s plus 950 greater than or equal to 570. All right, let's take a look at number 8. Alejandro has and his children went into, that's misspelled, but I believe that's into a grocery store and will buy apples and mangoes. Each apple costs $2 and each mango costs $1. Alejandro's total of $20 spent. Said that wrong. Alejandro has a total of $20 to spend. Write an inequality that would represent the possible values for the number of apples purchased, A, and the number of mangoes purchased, M. Alright, so again, I wrote out the kind of like a little guide here. What would we multiply the apples by? What would we multiply the mangoes by? And what inequality would we use? And what would it be compared to the amount? So what goes here for A? Alright, $2. So 2 times every apple. What goes here for one? I'm sorry, for M, if you don't already know. Yes, one. $1 for each mango. And how about the inequality? What should the inequality be? Less than or equal. See, Alejandro has a total of $20, which means he can spend $20 or he can spend less than $20, but he can't spend more than $20 because he only has $20, right? And that last number is going to be, you guessed it, $20. So if I write it without the boxes here, we look at 2A plus 1M less than or equal to 20. And you don't have to put the 1, but I put it there just in case. Okay, so I'm going to end this part right here. So that's part 2 of my series of videos on Unit 5 Assessment Study Guide. Stay tuned for part 3, but for now, thank you for checking out Mr. Ware's videos. Have a nice day.